This is TechCrunch.
While advertising and targeting have become increasingly personalized, the website, the final destination for that traffic, has remained largely static. Fibr AI aims to bridge that gap by using AI agents to turn generic web pages into one-to-one experiences tailored to each visitor, a thesis that has prompted Accel to double down on the company. Accel has led Fibr AI's $5.7 million seed round following an earlier $1.8 million pre-seed investment in 2024. The fresh funding also included participation from WillowTree Ventures and MVP Ventures, alongside Fortune 100 operators joining as angel investors and advisors, bringing the startup's total funding to $7.5 million. For large companies, the gap between increasingly personalized ads and largely generic website experiences has traditionally been filled by a mix of personalization software, engineering teams, and marketing agencies, a model that is slow, expensive, and difficult to scale. While ads can be tailored instantly for different audiences, changing what happens once a visitor lands on a site often requires weeks of coordination and limits teams to running only a handful of experiments each year. Fibr AI argues that this human-heavy operating model no longer works. Instead, the startup uses autonomous AI agents to infer intent, generate variations, and continuously optimize pages in real time. CEO and co-founder Ankur Goyal said that Fibr AI replaces the agency and engineering-heavy model with autonomous systems that operate continuously, adding that this allows Fibr AI to run thousands of experiments in parallel rather than a few dozen each year. Adoption was initially slow. Founded in early 2023, Fibr AI had just one or two customers for much of its first 2 years, as enterprises took time to evaluate the approach. That began to change last year with adoption picking up among large U.S. companies, including banks and healthcare providers, bringing the total number of customers to 12. Goyal told TechCrunch, "We are an infra afterthought layer. Once it's set up, nobody wants to think about it again." He added that Dynamic has led Fibr AI to sign 3 to 5 year contracts with large enterprises, which tend to treat website infrastructure as something to standardize rather than continuously revisit. At a technical level, Fibr AI operates as a layer on top of an existing website, connecting to a company's advertising, analytics, and customer data systems to understand how visitors arrive and what they are likely looking for. Its AI agents then assemble and adjust page content, such as copy, imagery, and layout, treating each URL as a system that learns and optimizes continuously rather than a fixed page. Instead of relying on manually configured rules or sequential A/B tests, the platform runs large numbers of micro-experiments in parallel and updates experiences systematically as traffic flows in from different channels. That shift has direct cost implications for large enterprises. Traditional website personalization typically combines software licenses with agency retainers and engineering time, tying costs to people rather than outcomes. Goyal said enterprises are increasingly evaluating Fibr AI's platform based on cost per experiment and conversion impact, rather than the number of tools or people involved. For Accel, that operating model, rather than the AI buzz, was central to the decision to invest again. Priyank Swarup, a partner at Accel, said, "You can create hundreds of ads for different audiences, but they all still land on the same page." Fibr's ability to turn that dynamic into one-to-one personalization, he said, stood out because it removed the agency and engineering bottlenecks that typically limit how far enterprises can push experimentation. Swarup added that early enterprise adoption, particularly among banks and healthcare companies, helped validate the thesis. He said, "These are regulated conservative industries. When they start saying, 'We need this and we're willing to pay for it,' that's when we feel confident doubling down." While most of Fibr AI's business today is driven by personalizing experiences for human visitors, Accel and Fibr AI also see potential in how AI agents are beginning to mediate online discovery. As users increasingly research, compare, and shortlist products using large language models and AI chatbots, including OpenAI's ChatGPT, before visiting a website, Swarup said, The ability for sites to adapt based on what a visitor, or an AI system acting on their behalf, already knows could become more important over time. That's it from TechCrunch. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.